And they said I wouldn't make it. A story of hope is about my bouts with leukemia. When I was young, I had leukemia. Um, I was diagnosed when I was 8, and I relapsed when I was 11. And the story just kind of follows my family and I as we, had to fight with something that we didn't even know existed. When I was diagnosed, we had no idea what leukemia was. We were really, my dad was kind of confused because he didn't understand like how I could have cancer if I didn't smoke, because the only cancer that he really was aware of, or was really prominent at the time in his mind, was cancer, like lung cancer from smoking. So it was like, how can my son have cancer who doesn't smoke? Like, what does this come from? How did he get it? So there was a lot of unanswered questions, especially in the beginning. When I was sick the first time, my parents were very young, and their only sort of method to fight things were through sports. So we kind of took a sports look, sports point of view when we were battling leukemia. It was Sam versus leukemia, and it was like, who's gonna come out on top? And I'm thinking like, well, who is leukemia? But really, I didn't know what I was up against. In reality, to me, it was just another illness. It was just another, sick, another flu, another bad cold. And, honestly, against all the colds that I had to fight, I was undefeated. So it was like kind of an attitude of, why can't I beat this? And when I was sick the first time, I said I was going to start the African American Cancer Society, because I felt like somebody really needed to make African Americans aware of this problem in this disease. And that's kind of where it started out, and now I'm starting to make me a match project. I wrote this piece for a lot of different people, including myself. It was really cathartic for me to write it and to get it out there and feel like, okay, I've told my story. So that was great, but I also wrote it for patients, for newly diagnosed patients, because when I got sick, there was no stories of hope. There was nothing there to kind of, point you in the direction of like, you can make it. That was one of the biggest things my dad and mom said, was that there was nothing for them, there was no hope for them to grab onto. And so I kind of wrote this piece to give a sense of hope to those patients out there that need it. It's about the good times, the bad times, the joy, the pain. It's about a lot of fun that we had, and just really about how a family can come together to overcome something that seems almost impossible at the time. Everyone will get something different, but I hope everyone gets something out of it. I know a lot of people, like, when they hear the title of the show, like, they're like, oh, am I going to be depressed? Am I going to be sad? Am I going to be crying the whole time? And please, no, it's going to be fun. To me, it's a fun show. I wouldn't do it if it was sad, because that's not my thing. I'm not into making people depressed and cry a whole bunch. Okay, you might cry a little, but I'm sure you'll laugh a whole lot as well. So be prepared to come and have fun. Be prepared to come and be immersed in me and my family. Be prepared to become a part of the family, and be prepared to leave different than when you came.